Bugs in the kitchen, food kept past its discard date. That's just a taste of the violations inspectors uncovered at Valley Restaurants this week. Sushi Avenue on Higley Road off Guadalupe Road in Gilbert. 4 major health code violations. Bags of lettuce touching raw chicken. A medicine bottle on top of salad bowls. Live roaches in a food prep area. A large crack in a wall in a dry storage area. Gertrude's by Tarbell's on Galvin Parkway near McDowell Road in Phoenix. 4 violations. A bar dishwasher not cleaning correctly. Beans not held at the proper temperature. Risotto and spinach sauce not kept cold enough. Romesco sauce kept past its discard date. Tabla Indian Restaurant at Happy Valley Road and 25th Avenue in Phoenix. 6 violations. A cook handling raw chicken, then not washing his hands. A dishwasher handling dirty dishes, then clean dishes. Dishes with food debris put away as clean. Rice and boiled eggs out of temperature. Milk and sauces not kept cold enough. Black fabric curtains in the kitchen in front of a food serving area. And the place with the most health code violations? Cloves Indian Groceries and Kitchen on Chandler Boulevard off Pennington Drive in Chandler. 7 major violations. The Cloves Indian Grocery and Kitchen had an employee that didn't wash his hands after using the restroom. Raw chicken stored over ready-to-eat foods. Dishes being cleaned without sanitizer. A meat bandsaw with food debris left on the blade. An employee not cleaning food containers correctly. Lentil soup not kept at the proper temperature. And tomato gravy not date marked. The restaurant is now on notice to clean up or could face legal action. Jason Berry for Arizona's Family.
Jason, thanks. Let's take a look at the restaurants keeping clean kitchens. These are the restaurants on our Dean's List. The Wingstop at 7th Avenue in McDowell and Phoenix. Godfather's Pizza at Signal Butte and Queen Creek in Queen Creek. And Little Town Butcher at Black Canyon Boulevard and Carefree Highway in Cave Creek. A couple more, Little Ray's Pizzeria at 59th Avenue in Beardsley and Glendale, the Black Rock Coffee at Baseline and Crisman and Mesa, and the Taste of Italy at Elliott and San Gabriel Drive in Goodyear.